fentanyl will kill you just a little tiny on the top of a pin and you're dead. I have so many friends that have lost their children to fentanyl.
Vice President Harris says she plans to visit areas hit by Hurricane Helene as soon as possible without, the White House says, disrupting emergency response operations. There are communities in North Carolina cut off by road because of unprecedented rainfall dumped by Helene. Some 2.5 feet of rain fell in some areas, causing floods that swept away homes and people in them. CBS's Christian Benavides.
Supplies are running low in South Carolina, where long lines of cars are growing outside gas stations.
We're out of ice, water, gas cans.
Tennessee and Georgia are cleaning up as well, where flash flooding led to a number of rescues, devastating communities. Parts of Florida recorded more than 15 feet of storm surge. Governor Ron DeSantis is touring some of the devastation. Rescue teams are also going door to door to ensure residents are safe.
At least 116 people have died. 45,000 dock workers on the East Coast and in the Gulf of Mexico could walk off the job in less than a day if they do not reach an agreement with the association that represents port associations, terminal operators, and container carriers. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says a strike will hurt the economy, but may only be temporary.
The potential impact to the economy would probably be modest, maybe shaving off about 0.1% of the country's annualized gross domestic product, which is running at around 3% right now. However, once the strike is resolved and the backlog is cleared up, then the impact would be reversed and the economy would gain back that lost ground.
This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Should there be a credit card class in high school?
Parents surveyed said they're responsible for teaching their kids to handle their finances. But 53% of college-age students said they are not good money managers. Mary Droush, the head of consumer products at Bank of America.
Reality is there's so much content out there, it's overwhelming.
Financial tools are getting better. Bank of America has created one example, a family banking account giving parents oversight of their child's spending.
So that as they're learning how to manage their money, they can do it in a responsible way.
Brad Gibson for CBS News.
A day after launching from the Kennedy Space Center, a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft caught up with the International Space Station and moved in for docking, bringing a NASA astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut to the outpost to join 2 Starliner astronauts for a 5-month tour of duty. It comes amid word from SpaceX that it's suspending Falcon 9 launches while engineers work to figure out what caused the crew's Falcon 9 upper stage to misfire on Saturday. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
More of what you need. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 4:05 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Calling all chicken nugget lovers, it's time to get saucy with Wendy's. Featuring crispy or spicy chicken nuggets tossed in one of 4 delicious sauces: honey barbecue, garlic parm, buffalo, and spicy ghost pepper. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's Saucy Nugs.
I'm Ginger Cruz, and I'm running for Congress with a plan. You can read it at gingercruz.com. Jim Moylan has no plan, just outdated websites. No solutions, you need to call his office. But here's what he did do. He lost $300 million in compact impact money. He let his good friend in Congress kill compensation for Guam's radiation survivors. And he took credit for money that DOD is getting for Guam. Guam faces real threats and a crushing cost of living. And Washington is where we can solve these problems if you understand how. Congress is tough. You have to engage with members, know what you're talking about, be convincing, and move Guam's issues. From my start in the Guam legislature in 1983 to the Ada and Gutierrez administrations to the highest levels of the federal government, this has been my life's work. I even taught it at UOG. A lifetime of experience means that I'm ready to work for you on day one. I'm Ginger Cruz for Congress. I approved and paid for this ad, and I need your vote.
Get whatever you want on your next vehicle purchase at Guam Auto Spot. Want zero down on your vehicle? Want low monthly interest rates? Want instant pre-approval? Whatever you want. Visit our website, GuamAutospot.com, and choose whatever you want from over 200 vehicles in our inventory, like this 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, now starting at $16,995. These are whatever you want prices. Call 478-AUTO and schedule a test drive today.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the bright side with Polly Suba, and I am Issa, the producer. You can tune into us Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can listen to us on our website, thewave105.com, and our now YouTube live streaming on Facebook. Our channel name is Wave 105.1 FM. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Good to go, we deliver. Order online or download the app for your convenience. Remember, good to go, we deliver. GTA, we start with you. Sherwin-Williams Paint. 'Tis the season for black mold, mildew, moss, and algae. Wet and forget is the solution. It's environmentally friendly and efficient. Ask Sherwin-Williams. Call 671-646-8050 today. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. No plans for dinner tonight? Then take the family to Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Enjoy the linguine clam, the tour of Italy, or the king of sub sandwich at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner. For reservations, call 671-646-7692 and enjoy a taste of Italy. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the Bright Side. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Inalahan if you're passing the Bear Rock heading up near the Inalahan Pool. Slow traffic on Route 4 in Chalampago if you're coming from Pago Bay heading to the intersection that also leads to Route 10. Heavy traffic on Route 10 in Manila if you're passing the Faux Cafe heading to the intersection near the Mobile gas station. There's also heavy traffic if you're coming out of Route 32 heading to that same intersection. Heavy traffic on Route 15 if you're coming from Dairy Road or Pogat Route, heading to the intersection near the Manila Senior Center. And now for some traffic advisory for the week from Monday, September 30th to Friday, October 4th. Between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m., motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Muning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 478-AUTO or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 478-AUTO.
I ran into this girl the night before. She reminded me of a golden shore. She was nothing like your average girl next door. She liked DVDs, tattoos, and Paramore. She'd say half a mile ago, por favor.
All right. The Bright Side has come to order. I don't know. I just feel like very executive. Like I'm here at my executive table with the board, and we don't have quorum because there's no one here.
You're so funny.
It's just me. I guess I'll go home now. No. This is the new setup, right? So if you've seen it already, if you watched on our YouTube channel with Patty Arroyo, right? By the way, where are we at? The Bright Side. So our YouTube channel is Wave 105.1 FM Guam. That's where you'll be able to find us, and you can chat with us there, and let us know how we're doing. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm supposed to be getting our friends from the Junior Achievement Alumni, and they might actually, I guess there was a little bit of miscommunication, because now I think they are here. I was actually waiting for them to let me know that they're here. Hold on, let me just double check. But otherwise, what we can do is, if they are just around the corner, if they are in the office, it takes a little bit to get here. We can grab them at the break. I do have some information that we can share right now on the GDOE and GPD joint press conference. And so that happened earlier today at around 8:30 this morning. Chief Ignacio said that a criminal complaint was filed after a social media threat targeted John F. Kennedy High School. Let's see here. Sorry. It's all. Josh. Hey.
We're downstairs. Did you want us to just come up to you?
Yeah. Hopefully somebody's going to grab you, all right? Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right. Laters. Okay, all right. Let's see here. So GPD and GPD's Chief of Police, Chief Stephen Ignacio, and the Superintendent Eric Swanson were doing a joint press conference. And basically what we had was, like, on Thursday night, Simon Sanchez High School, as they were leaving John F. Kennedy High, right? There were social media reports being dispersed, circulating among some of the minors too, among some of the students. I actually saw it around like 7:30 at night, Thursday night, as it was coming through my kids' social media. And it was pretty disturbing. There were a number of them, right? And so we were able to get updates this morning as to what happened. So they arrested a 16-year-old male linked to the JFK threat. The minor was taken into custody and confined at the Department of Youth Affairs late Friday night, and then charged for terroristic conduct, terrorizing and assaulting a police officer. So the suspect, the individual, this minor, allegedly resisted officers and allegedly assaulted a police officer as they were arresting the minor. On Sunday, a separate threat was directed at Benavente Middle School, and Ignacio had mentioned that investigations into all threats are still ongoing with the cooperation of the FBI. And what we'll do is, when I go to break, then we'll bring them in. Yeah? Cool. And he assured the public that they're going to continue to work collaboratively with the Department of Education and all the schools, because apparently also Notre Dame High School had some threats. There were threats involving Notre Dame, involving Ukadu High School and FBLG as well. And then Beneventi on Sunday, right? And so Chief Ignacio also asked that parents engage more with their children, particularly monitoring their online activities, right? And so I had asked too, at what point does GPD start to investigate more into the parents and charge them with the crime? And so he said this is not the first time that they've had those discussions. They talked about it a number of times about holding parents accountable. I think society more in general has to do that. Society in general has to, cry for that. Just like anything else. If you've had enough, if you don't agree with something, a lot of times that's what makes change, right?
Yeah, and the number of people.
Yeah. Right. And so again, this has happened before. And so Ignacio mentioned that while it's a topic often discussed, charging parents is not always straightforward. Parents may not always have access to their children's devices, but they should monitor them for the safety and ensure that they are not making threats. He encourages parents to take an active role in understanding that their children's social media use needs to be taken more they need to take a more responsible role when they're posting and understand that what they're doing is not funny, what they're doing is not a prank, and it's pretty serious. I know, looking at some of the comments, to make an example out of this one person, and it's funny because Chief Ignacio was sharing with Patty Arroyo this morning after the press conference. She had a conversation with Chief, right? And they were talking about that sheriff in Florida. So Chief Stephen Ignacio saw the same article and the same videos that I saw as well. And I saw them about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago, as to what he was doing with an 11-year-old, doing a whole perp walk and calling the media and saying, I've got a minor, and we're going to bring him to the station, and you're going to be able to watch us take him out of the squad car with handcuffs on and walk him into the station. And media was there to take photos. And I also saw photos where I wasn't sure if it was the media or if it was the police officers themselves, but they were taking pictures as they were getting his fingerprints, right? In handcuffs too. So they didn't even take the handcuffs off as they were, lining his fingers to print him, so that they have it on him, in the system. So the kid, as an 11-year-old, is in the system with the mug shot and with the fingerprints, right? So when I was listening to Chief talk about that instance, I was like, he said it was very bold. He didn't go as far as that's what he would do, but I was kind of waiting for him to say something like that. More so, just like at the press conference, he emphasized that parents just need to make double check, have the conversation, especially now. Now is a good time to have the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, they even bought the device, right? So it's also kind of your responsibility to be monitoring what they're doing on social media. Absolutely.
And I will say, as a father of 3 children and they're getting up in age, I will say, even though I've learned some tricks, they have found ways to fool me a couple times.
Yeah.
So I would say the chief is correct in looking into it more, being more mindful, like what the kids say, right? Very mindful, right? Be very mindful of your kids, because that would break my heart if it's my 16-year-old, right? Because I would also feel like a failure.
Yeah, like you would question your parenting, right?
Right. I would feel like a failure. And I've also learned from my upbringing that you need to be held accountable for your actions. That you can't just get away with bad behavior. There are consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So it would break my heart if it's my 16-year-old, absolutely. But I would be very cooperative, because you just can't disrupt the system like that.
Yeah. My parents always I was always scared, because my parents always told me all the time, if you do something wrong, I'm going to get in trouble too.
Yeah.
So that always stuck to my head growing up.
Absolutely. I think also a good good conversation to have with your child is because after having all of that conversation, I even think, now I'm not trying to sympathize with anybody, but I wonder what goes on in somebody's mind to go that far and do something like that. And I would call it very immature. I've called it very immature before, right? But you cannot dismiss, and I think even Jason Solis brought it up too, you cannot dismiss like mental health.
Exactly. I mean, that's such a big thing to say, you know? So anyone that says that, they could be dealing with something else.
Right.
Right?
Right. And again, that's not me sympathizing with anybody, but also check on your kid too, on their mental health. And that's what I'm trying to get at. Because if it does come down to where your child did something because of bad behavior, I'm not saying that was this instance, but, sometimes they do act out because they're isolated, because they're depressed, because they feel like they've been bullied, right? And so these are conversations that you just have to continue to have. And yeah, that's your cell phone, that's your account, you paid for it. You're not prying. That you let them borrow that phone. You've lended that to them. They don't own it. And I think that has to also be brought up too. Because once you put it out there, it's out there for everyone. You can delete it. Trust me, there are people with fast hands that screenshot real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You think you deleted it and and no one saw it? Oh, somebody got it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is now out there.
Yes.
All right, 4:23 in the afternoon. We're going to we usually go to the bottom of the hour, but our friends from Junior Achievement, the alumni from the Junior Achievement are here. I don't want to keep them waiting for much longer, so we'll take the break early, and then on the other side of some national news and the Real Deal Traffic Report, our friends from Junior Achievement alumni, the alumni leaders Hannah and Cheong, are going to be in studio with us. So we'll take the break now.
The Bright Side is brought to you by... your headlines is being brought to you by McDonald's of Guam. I'm loving it.
Should there be a credit card class in high school?
Parents surveyed said they're responsible for teaching their kids to handle their finances, but 53% of college-age students said they are not good money managers. Mary Droush, the head of consumer products at Bank of America.
Reality is there's so much content out there, it's overwhelming.
Financial tools are getting better. Bank of America has created one example, a family banking account giving parents oversight of their child's spending.
So that as they're learning how to manage their money, they can do it in a responsible way.
Brad Gibson for CBS News.
A day after launching from the Kennedy Space Center, a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft caught up with the International Space Station and moved in for docking, bringing a NASA astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut to the outpost to join two Starliner astronauts for a 5-month tour of duty. It comes amid word from SpaceX that it's suspending Falcon 9 launches while engineers work to figure out what caused the crew's Falcon 9 upper stage to misfire on Saturday. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Kids, did you pack your homework?
All done.
Did you?
Made beds, tidy rooms, brushed teeth, and hair.
Wow.
We even went with Dad to McDonald's and got you a McCafe pumpkin spice latte.
A perfect morning.
Mom, wake up! Ethan's drawing on the wall.
I knew it.
Pumpkin season is here. Enjoy McDonald's pumpkin spice latte or iced coffee. Perfect to complete your meal. Pumpkin spice latte and iced coffee available for a limited time only at McDonald's.
Hoffa everybody, it's me, Kyle Mandapat.
Hoffa Day, it's Reese.
And we want you to tune into the Morning Blender every single day.
That's right, there's a lot of things to do. Parties, birthdays to celebrate, songs to play, and of course some horoscopes if you're trying to find out about your day.
And plenty free stuff too.
That's right, all the free food and so much more.
So tune in to the Morning Blender weekday 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. right here on
Power 98.
Presented by Burger King,
Agania Shopping Center,
Subway,
Pat's Tinting and Detailing,
and Chili's.
The Bright Side is brought to you by Vitali's Italian Restaurant.
This September, let's change the narrative about suicide. At Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center, we offer free suicide prevention trainings to equip you with the skills to support those in need. When a loved one is struggling with mental health or in crisis, knowing how to help can make all the difference. Join us in making a difference. For more information and to register, email staff at peaceguam.org. Let's start the conversation about suicide prevention today.
Now, for a limited time at Chili's, get a free order of popcorn shrimp for every $50 spent through the Good To Go app or chilisguam.com for takeout or delivery. Only at Chili's, great food and value happen here.
I'm Vince Borja, a business owner with an MBA, a combat veteran, and an educator. But life didn't start this way. My father was murdered in a drug deal, and I grew up on welfare in Guam's dollar homes. But I was determined to live a completely different life. Now I'm running for senator to help build an economy that gives Guam's next generations career opportunities that don't include drug dealing. And your vote can make that happen. My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and base-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Get whatever you want on your next vehicle purchase at Guam Auto Spot. Want zero down on your vehicle? Want low monthly interest rates? Want instant pre-approval? Whatever you want. Visit our website, GuamAutospot.com, and choose whatever you want from over 200 vehicles in our inventory, like this 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, now starting at $16,995. These are whatever you want prices. Call 478-AUTO and schedule a test drive today.
Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on The Bright Side. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in Agania northbound if you're heading to the intersection in front of the Chamorro Village. Heavy traffic on Route 1 into Muning southbound if you're heading to the intersection intersection near the Jack in the Box restaurant. Heavy traffic on Route 1 into Muning, both north and southbound. If you're heading to the intersection and near the ITC building, there's also heavy traffic if you're on Route 14 trying to get to that same intersection. And now for some traffic advisory for the week from Monday, September 30th to Friday, October 4th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14, Chalon, San Antonio into Muning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your Real Deal traffic report here on The Bright Side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 478-AUTO or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 478-AUTO.
Welcome back to The Bright Side right here on Wave 105. And like I promised, Junior Achievement Alumni Leaders, Hannah and Che. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you so much for having us today.
All right. So Junior Achievement, what have you guys been doing? I guess we'll start with your companies. Like what did you sell during Junior Achievement? And we'll start with Hannah.
All right, so I've been a part of the Junior Achievement Program ever since my sophomore year, so 2 different seasons. The first year I was with Bank of Hawaii. They were my advisors, and we sold these coasters with cultural stuff painted on it, and so that would be different destinations on our island. And the purpose of that product and our company was basically because of the Typhoon Mawar. And the Typhoon Mawar happened already.
It might have been another type.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay. Just kidding then.
No worries.
Well, yeah, so just in general, spreading cultural awareness, because we do know that tourism is one of the main aspects of our economy here on Guam.
Right.
So that was one of the things that we sold, and we sold them in bundles. And then my most previous season of Junior Achievement was with Lotla, which we sold these mental health journals along with stickers and other stationery stuff.
Right.
And so with this, we actually did represent our island in the J Asia Pacific competition. And I feel like with our company, one of the things that we really, put stress on and emphasized is the importance of, mental health and all that. So with that, we did an expo at a Ganya shopping center, which was very successful. And yeah, so that was my experience with Junior Achievement the past few years that I've been there. And now I'm in the JA Alumni Program, so...
That's cool. And both of you are still in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You're at John F. Kennedy. You're at Southern.
Yeah.
How do you guys find time to do all of this with having to do your studies?
I think definitely it's a big time commitment, just really going to different events and just getting together with your company, especially if you're an officer. But I'd say just prioritizing your academics and then just finding time in the weekends to just get together with your team. It's definitely time consuming at times, but it's just as long as you get your priorities right, it's worth it.
It's got to be a lot of fun too to think about it, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. And Che, what did your company?
Yeah, so I've been with Junior Achievement since my freshman year, and in my freshman year I just joined out of curiosity. I just saw this article on Guam Daily Post, and I just did it for fun. And my freshman year, it was actually with my in-school team, so we have our marketing program at my school, and it was a bunch of students at my school. And honestly, I'm going to admit, it wasn't the best because it was straight out of COVID, and we weren't really it wasn't established, so we sold candles, and we wanted to bring awareness to LGBTQ and bullying. And then my sophomore year, we did dog toys, and we basically made dog toys with upcycled t-shirts. So we wanted to bring awareness to sustainability, and also since pets is such a huge part of our island, we wanted to also share this little toy with the people of Guam, and that was pretty successful. And last year we did, our company name was Tesoru, and then we made wind chimes with upcycled plastic bags, and then we got shells from the beaches.
Okay. Very cool. How does the brainstorming work? Because there's how many of you are in a company?
So that actually varies. I know that some groups, like some companies, have a lot more because they're associated with like a school. So like that's FDT's in. Sure. And then there are some that's less, depending on how many people like join and get assigned to that group. But so let me share first for what I think is like how the brainstorming process goes. So definitely, I know in our meetings we usually have like one main meeting where we decide when to meet, you know, throw out some ideas there, what we want for a product. And of course, one of the big things about creating a company and creating a product is having a purpose for it. So definitely that's one of the things, the first few things that is discussed in the first few meetings. And then of course from brainstorming we kind of look at like what we could name the company, of course, you know, so that goes for like marketing and stuff, so we can make the social media platforms to properly you know, go out there, promote our products, our company. And of course with that comes with like creativity, the production part. Oh Lord, for my first season of Junior Achievement, since they were handmade coasters, so our coasters come from so one of the members actually, like, I believe their dad had a lot of like old wood that we could just cut up to coaster shapes. And then so that one, since it's handmade, it's definitely a lot of like us, the company members, coming in to one of the rooms in Bank of Hawaii, you know, being there to kind of do because we use Mod Podge, and then, you know, that takes time to dry and all that. So yeah, the production process is quite a lot, but I feel like the brainstorming process of it, because, you know, we get to be creative. And one of the things that I like about Junior Achievement is, you know, they don't like hate on ideas or like, oh no, we're gonna disregard that idea. That doesn't, like, it's not like that at all, or even near that, because any idea, if you have one, say it, because that could just be like our product. And you never know, because some ideas out there we could, like, for example with Lala, like someone just threw out like the idea of adding stickers as part of like the bundle, and you know, it was a good idea because we ended up actually doing it for the trade fairs, which was successful because, you know, it attracted a lot of customers. So
wow,
yeah.
Both of you went to trade fairs?
Yes. So that's for like all the companies, and we have it planned, like so the JA office plans all these events, and the companies have the opportunity to showcase their products.
This is like at the mall, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But then you mentioned something where you went off. Did you go off island?
Yeah, so the basically whoever wins the company of the year, they get to represent our island to the competitions for Asia Pacific, since that's our region, and then whoever wins that goes to the worldwide one, so like USA, Europe, and
wow. So you're like representing Guam and the US when you go out there.
Yes, if you win the regional one.
If you win the regional, have you guys won the regional?
Okay, all that matters is we represent Guam.
No, but it's a good experience, right?
We don't know yet, you know. Well, one of the companies this year might. We never know. Well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll see. You should attend one of the trade fairs, or all the trade fairs, actually. See what, you know, the companies have to offer, like the products, support them, because they might win company of the year. And in terms of determining company of the year, we have like the competition day, right? Like
so we have the main competition day at the mall. Like we usually have it at Micronesian Mall, and we have a bunch of judges for different officers, and then we also have like different awards for different categories, like President of the Year, Vice President of Marketing, Finance, Sales, and Production. So yeah, we go through like different interviews, and then we have to do
Wow.
our sales pitch on the stage for like 5
Ooh,
minutes.
yeah.
And that also determines like different category awards. So it's a long process, but it's definitely worth it at the end.
Yeah, this is why I'm so impressed with JA, because
Right,
you
right.
guys are learning some things that like junior executives are learning, you know? Like this is very tangible stuff that you're
Right.
going to be able to take with you, this
Definitely.
experience out, you know, whether you decide to go to college or go straight into the workforce.
Honestly, for me, I would say junior achievement for me is so life-changing because what I want to do after high school, at the time as a freshman, I wasn't sure if I even wanted to go to college, but ever since I joined junior achievement and got to meet different mentors and different teammates, I was just really inspired to just kind of solve problems that I see in the community and to take that to like the next level, maybe change like issues I see in the society, right? So now I kind of have an idea of what I want to study in college. Like I want to hopefully like found my own startup soon, and I'm really interested in economics and entrepreneurship. So I would say if you join junior achievement, it can really open you up to new opportunities. So definitely just try it out, even if you're not sure you want to become an entrepreneur.
Wow, that's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are you guys up to now to try to get people to get involved, knowing that you are alumni, right? And you guys are you've been through it, right? So, are you? Is Josh taking you guys around to some of the other schools?
So yes, definitely. I know that Mr. Joshua.
Sorry,
has-
director. Director Josh Miller.
Yes. So definitely, I know he's been doing presentations around schools. I know he did the presentation at JFK maybe a week or two ago.
Yeah.
And so, well, as for me, and like us alumni, you know, what we try to do is kind of get out there, get some students to join, you know, just from word of mouth, because I know a lot of the students in JA ended up joining because of that. And another thing that we're trying to work on is our social media platforms, and as well as like I know that he's really working on getting the word out there. And yeah, so hopefully we'll have a lot of students join this year, because really it's a really good program to be in, because not only does it help you learn about entrepreneurship, you know, finance, marketing, and all that, you know, some skills that we would need when we enter like the fields that we want to go into, you know, when we get older, like networking, just like communication with the people you work with. You know, working in a company, sometimes there could be like clashing opinions, like, no, I don't want that for our product, or no, we should market it this way or this way. You know, it really comes down to like being able to work with them, collaborate with them, and compromise. So yeah, aside from of course the obvious things that you can learn from the program, there's those things that I think are definitely worth it.
Nice. You guys got a calendar yet of
Yes, we do actually.
Nice.
So our program, we started our registration, and the last day to join is October 7th.
Okay.
And our kickoff is October 19th from 10 to 12.
October 19, where?
Right now we're still pending on the venue,
Oh,
but
okay.
we're thinking GCC.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
once you register, you'll get an email from us. So make sure to register today.
Where do you register?
So we have our link on our Instagram bio.
Okay. I need to follow you guys.
JA Guam Alumni.
Oh, wow. You guys have your own.
Right.
Very cool. All right. JA Guam Alumni.
Yes.
Nice. And you both have been doing this since you were freshmen.
So for me, I started doing this when I was sophomore year. Yes.
Yeah, all right. And so I'm sure you probably have dealt with failure.
Oh yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. So what have you learned from those barriers? Because I think at the end of the day, they're not real failures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course, yeah.
So I actually talked about this in one of my college essays because, so my freshman year, I know I briefly talked about how it wasn't really successful, and I think
Sure.
a big part of why it wasn't really successful was because we didn't really have a common purpose. And so I realized that my freshman and sophomore years, we always focused on building a product first and then going into like what message we want to deliver through that product. But what I wanted to do differently during my junior year is just we should first have a purpose and a mission for our company so that like all of the team members have something to bond around, and then we can come up with a product that we want to sell to the customers, because I think without a common purpose, like your team can't really last. So it's just, as a leader, you always have to make sure that everyone is on the same page, and it's honestly important in any organization as a leader. So I think that's definitely a big lesson that I learned from my failure.
So definitely when it comes to failure, at least in junior achievement, I feel like it's something that students should like welcome. Like not in
This is the time.
Yeah, not in a bad way,
Sure.
but they should welcome it, because failure is like kind of the way you learn how to do things right.
Right.
Right. So because for example, my first year of junior achievement, I was also chief marketing officer of my company, and failing at some stuff like during trade fairs where I felt kind of like, oh, maybe I should have done this better and that, feeling like bad about myself. Of course the first few seconds you feel bad, but if you look at it in a different perspective, you kind of just like learn and see like, okay, so I did that, I could do that better, and so I will. And then and I feel like looking at it that way, not necessarily looking at failure a certain way, at a fixed way, it really helps, especially because there's some people who you might be grouped up with in your company who might like get really like angsty and stuff when it comes to like failures or like even small mistakes.
Sure.
And you just you gotta remind them that it's okay, no need to stress out. Like our company is not gonna like fall and like break apart over like this little thing that you maybe messed up on, like especially during the competitions, like during the pitches and the stage, because I know that a lot of junior achievement students, some of them have like a scare, what is it,
anxiety,
stage fright.
Fright. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely going up there on the stage like at Micronesia Mall, doing our sales pitch, and of course since we kind of have to, well, not have to, but it would look good if you kind of know it, memorize it, what your company is all about and like what the sales pitch is. So it can get nerve-wracking, but even if you
No, you're good. You're good.
So even if you do like mess up a little, like it's not the end of the day, well, there's always next season, unless you're graduating, but there's always other like seasons or other things that you could do, so you could improve from what you like messed up on. So yeah.
No, I get it, and I think at the end of it all, none of it is a failure anyways, because like you guys now here able to talk about it, you get somebody to be more interested in something like this, then it's only going to help with somebody else, right?
Definitely.
And I think also the program itself is just watching it evolve, because I've seen it evolve in the last 10 years, and I've seen the products that you put out evolves too. Are you guys do you guys ever talk to friends, talk to family members as to, like you said, your products solve an issue of theirs? Like how do you find out what the product you want to put out there? Is it only brainstorming, or do you kind of workshop it with your friends that aren't even in the program?
Yeah, so I think just market survey is really important.
Yeah.
Just really asking people like, what do you think is an issue that we should solve in the island community? So since our purpose was to like rediscover the beauty of Guam, especially after Typhoon Mawar, we wanted to just kind of showcase like the shells and just also promote sustainability by using upcycled plastic bags to make our wind chimes. So I think it's just really important to also not be afraid to give and receive feedback from people that you may not even like know. So I know at trade fairs, like a lot of the customers came up to us, and we did receive good compliments, but there were also customers that gave us a lot of good feedback. So I think I just had to really just help my team members to not be afraid to really take those feedback and incorporate it for future competitions.
Oh, nice.
Feedback is so important.
Because at the trade fairs, is that the finished product or are those prototypes?
So actually, it really depends. So probably in the last maybe the last actual trade fair, you should have a finished product. But in the first trade fair, it's like you can have a finished product, but some kind of just have a prototype because and they just have like a sheet of like customers who are interested, so they could pre-order, because you know, we don't want the companies to like rush their like products. And I know that some products, like of course I know like your guys' products, since it's handmade, right, it takes time, and a lot of the products usually are like that, where it takes time to make it, and again, like the production part of it, it takes some time figuring out whether they want to ship some of the materials from off island and all that. So yeah, it takes time. So first trade fair, usually some companies, if you'll see, they just have a prototype, but even then you can kind of see a basic idea of what it'll be already, you know, so it's pretty good.
Nice. Do you guys know of the companies that are already getting involved this year?
We know some of the sponsors, like the main ones, GTA, Bank of Hawaii, and then just not sure about the rest. We're still getting that determined.
But Graphic Center and
Graphic Center.
Tizen.
Yeah.
Tizen. Yeah.
Okay. GTA is going to be in here tomorrow talking about their new iPhone 16.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we got GTA coming in. And so how does that all work? Like, can you walk me through after the trade fair? You said there's an award ceremony.
Yeah. So basically, when we do the kickoff event, we just kind of sort students into different teams. And I think the first month you just kind of brainstorm and then start your company going, get your company going, and then we would usually have our first trade fair around November. And that's where you first showcase your product to your customers. And then we would have it throughout the month until like Christmas time. And then Christmas break is when you would get together with your teams to prepare the annual report, where you would just talk about just your product, how well you guys did, how well you guys perform, and your financials.
That's perfect around that time.
Right.
Right around Christmas.
Yeah. And then in January, like late January, we would have our competition at Micronesia Mall, and that's where we would do the interviews and the sales pitch. And then we would have our award ceremony to award
What
the
month?
I think February.
February?
Yeah.
February, and then they decide who's going to represent Guam in the regionals. And the regionals are where?
Actually, it depends, but I might be wrong, but it could be Japan. Is it Japan this year? Yeah, I heard Japan. Last year it was at Malaysia.
Okay.
It was nice.
You went?
Yes. Yes. So Lala did end up getting Company of the Year last year. So we were So we ended up representing Guam, and it was really fun because, you know, being in that competition, you can kind of collaborate with other students who created their companies.
Wow.
And it also is kind of interesting because I know some of them, like, they have really innovative stuff. I know there was this one company who created like a website for students to kind of study, like put study guides in there. So I was like, wow, should have thought of that. And yeah, so it's just interesting, you know, meeting other students from other places like our age, you know, creating these companies, and it's just really inspiring to be in that like environment. So that was really fun.
I think my last question is, are you guys already incorporating AI?
Okay. So honestly, that's a really good question because I know I've been watching a lot of AI videos. Because I know AI is just so like developing really quickly, and it's something that honestly all like 21st century entrepreneurs should know about. And we're not like super 100% sure, but we'll definitely work on that. I think it's really important
I'm just wondering,
to be aware.
I'm just wondering if we're already at that point
right
where we're starting to use AI to help with concepts.
That's
and
a good idea.
That is, you know what? I don't doubt that. I feel like there's definitely gonna be some companies who's gonna be using like ChatGPT to kind of help with like brainstorming.
And, like,
yeah.
It even makes apps for you.
Yeah. So definitely, I think it could be. I mean, the way I see AI, it's like you have to kind of know it, especially now with like how you know, the world is evolving. You know.
Well, how are you guys using it? If I can just kind of ask. I'm always curious.
Yeah.
How are you using AI in your daily life? Don't worry, your teachers aren't listening.
Definitely ChatGPT is the most common one, and honestly, AI is such an effective tool as long as you know how to use it properly, and I feel like you shouldn't look at it in a negative way.
Yeah.
So I use it to just help me brainstorm. Let's say like I'm planning like a community project for my school organizations. I'll ask ChatGPT to like kind of summarize it for me and to just come up with potential like company names and stuff. So I feel like it's a really good way to use it as long as you add like, your human touch to it afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely, yeah. I know that a lot of students use it that way. For me, I use it more of because I'm scared of putting my work in there because I don't know if it's because because I'm scared of putting my original like work in there because I'm scared that it could use it because you know how AI works, right? Like it gets from so, but I do use it in a way that's kind of similar to you. Like if I put like just a bunch of my thoughts in there, like if I was planning a fundraiser for like my class, I kind of use it to help me organize like everything, like this is the date, time, and then and I feel like it's a really interesting thing. Like when it came out and when I first like tried it, it's like it's a cool thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's cool. It's like smart. How are you? Because I know not to sound like one of those oldies. I'm sorry, but
boomers.
Well, yeah, but when your parents are like, back in the day we had to go.
I'm still using a notebook, pen, and paper.
Like, back in the day we had to go to the library, like look for answers in books and like the computers there. But like now you can search up something or ask AI something, and they have the answers there for you, and it's pretty cool. But I do know that at least for me, I make it a point to make sure I don't rely on it because I feel like it's an easy thing to kind of like depend on, which might like impede creativity and all that, which
I could see that as a barrier for your own creative thinking and your own independent thinking. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you
for
having us.
It's always great to have a conversation with our youth, our upcoming leaders, what's important in your lives, and I'm glad to have the conversation on junior achievement. And I'll stay close to Josh, your director. And if there's any other information, maybe down the road, you guys can come back when you guys have finally got with your groups, implemented named your companies, found out what product you want to sell, and we can start introducing it to the community here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yes.
Very cool. All right, Hannah, Jay, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
JFK Senior and Southern High Senior. It is an honor and a privilege to have a conversation with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. All right, Issa, it's 4:58. We're just going to take the break soon because we got to get them out before 5, yeah? All right, so we are KGUM FM in Hagåtña, Guam.
KGUM FM, Hagåtña, Guam. The sound of Guam is Wave 105 FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Matt Piper. Water is a big concern for communities cut off by Hurricane Helene. The storm washed away roads and knocked out utilities and communications. WYNT TV reporter RJ Johnson talked to rescue crews in eastern Kentucky.
People in Harlan County are cleaning up after the mess Helene left on their communities.
Made for a busy day.
With calls coming from several areas in the county. Sunshine Volunteer Fire Department Chief Stephen Hatfield says they made several trips to the Kaywood area.
First run we made had a tree had fell on a structure, trapping the individual in their home.
With fallen trees, down power lines, and more, Hatfield says crews are working around the clock to clean things up.
It is the first and only vice presidential debate, and it's taking place here at the CBS Broadcast Center on Tuesday night. Former New York Democratic legislator Josh Lafazan says some issues pushed on the campaign trail may fall flat.
When you look at voters 18 to 29, the Harvard Institute poll, the economy, 14% of young voters said it was their most important issue. Inflation, 11%. Abortion, 8%. And immigration, 6%.
Israel is pressing its military offensive deeper into Lebanon after killing 7 high-ranking Hezbollah leaders in a week. But UNICEF spokesman James Elder in Gaza is hoping to refocus attention on Gaza, where the campaign against Hamas has left Palestinians in dire need.
Whether you've got a child psychologist or the director of a hospital or a surgeon, they start their day in a tent. They start their day being reminded that the family home that they saved for and built over years or maybe decades was destroyed in a flash.
Kids are off to college, and for those who are undeclared or planning for next year, a new study looks at the pros and cons to consider when choosing a major.
The most valuable college majors are science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, according to a Bankrate study. Those majors bring higher salaries and lower unemployment rates.
Salaries that range between $90,000 annually to $115,000. Unemployment rates between 0.9% and 3%.
Bankrate analyst Alex Gailey.
Then at the bottom of the ranking are more arts and humanities degrees.
Stephen Kaufman, CBS News.
I was a sailor. He was a member of the Highwaymen with Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings. He wrote Me and Bobby McGee, made famous by Janis Joplin, and he won a Golden Globe for his role in the original A Star is Born in 1976. Chris Christopherson has died at age 88. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with the team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, and powerful anti-aging supplements. Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SAVE or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off. SAVE to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch captivating dramas and gripping mysteries, whether it's entire series of massive hits like Sherlock and Vera, new seasons of originals like The Responder, starring international Emmy winner Martin Freeman, or an extraordinary selection of beloved treasures featuring Idris Elba, Jodie Comer, Matthew McFadden, Benedict Cumberbatch, and more. Only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Pope Francis has pledged support for victims of clergy sexual abuse during his visit to Belgium. The country has been confronting revelations of clerical abuse and cover-ups for 2 decades.
Pope Francis on Sunday denounced the cover-up of clerical sex abuse and said victims should receive more financial compensation. Speaking to a crowd of about 30,000 gathered for a mass in the Brussels stadium, the Pope said, "I ask the bishops not to cover up abuse, to condemn abusers. Evil must not be hidden, it must be brought out into the open." During his 3-day visit to Belgium, Pope Francis personally met with 17 abuse survivors. Anna Matranga, CBS News, Rome.
Permanente Brothers is setting the record straight on claims that Republican vice presidential candidate Senator J.D. Vance was banned from making a political stop at their Pennsylvania restaurant this weekend. It says it all comes down to momentary confusion for members of their staff. Matt Piper, CBS News.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, and powerful anti-aging supplements. Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SAVE or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off. SAVE to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because Realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what Realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Keeping the flow through your day. Wave 105 FM.
Good afternoon. It is 5:04 p.m. and that is your time check brought to you by Wendy's. Calling all chicken nugget lovers, it's time to get saucy with Wendy's. Featuring crispy or spicy chicken nuggets tossed in one of 4 delicious sauces: honey barbecue, garlic parm, buffalo, and spicy ghost pepper. Choose wisely, choose Wendy's Saucy Nugs.
Experience the incredible lightness of fooding with the all-new Subway Wraps. Filled with delicious ingredients, the new Subway Wraps will fill you up without slowing you down. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
I'm Vince Borja, a business owner with an MBA, a combat veteran, and an educator. But life didn't start this way. My father was murdered in a drug deal, and I grew up on welfare in Guam's dollar homes. But I was determined to live a completely different life. Now I'm running for senator to help build an economy that gives Guam's next generations career opportunities that don't include drug dealing. And your vote can make that happen. My name is Vince Borja, and I approve this message.
Get whatever you want on your next vehicle purchase at Guam Auto Spot. Want zero down on your vehicle? Want low monthly interest rates? Want instant pre-approval? Whatever you want. Visit our website, GuamAutospot.com, and choose whatever you want from over 200 vehicles in our inventory, like this 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, now starting at $16,995. These are whatever you want prices. Call 478-AUTO and schedule a test drive today.
You are tuned into Wave 105.1 FM on the bright side with Polly Suba, and I'm Issa, the producer. You can tune into us Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can listen on our website, thewave105.com, and our stream on YouTube, Wave 105.1 FM. If you want to reach us on the line, please call us at 671-922-1051 or 1052. The Bright Side is brought to you by Chili's Grill and Bar. At Chili's, more life, great food, and memories happen here. Good to go, we deliver. Order online or download the app for your convenience. Remember, good to go, we deliver. GTA, we start with you. Sherwin-Williams Paint. Is it time for a fresh interior look? Do you want to spruce up your home and add a pop of color indoors? Sherwin-Williams has the innovative paint solutions for you. Ask Sherwin-Williams. Call 671-646-8050 to get started. Vitali's Italian Restaurant. No plans for dinner tonight? Then take the family to Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Enjoy the linguine clam, the tour of Italy, or the king sub sandwich at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner. For reservations, call 671-646-7692 and enjoy a taste of Italy. Now's that time for your real deal traffic report here on the bright side. Slow traffic on Route 10A into Muning if you're coming from the intersection near Donkey, heading to the intersection in front of the Guam Airport. There's also heavy traffic if you're coming from East Sunset Boulevard, heading to the airport or Route 10. Slow traffic on Route 1 into Muning northbound if you're passing the Boy Scouts office, heading to the intersection near Kmart. Heavy traffic on Route 3 in Dededo if you're passing the GRMC Hospital, heading to the intersection on Route 1. And now for some traffic advisory for the week from Monday, September 30th to Friday, October 4th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14B and on the sidewalk into Muning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your real deal traffic report here on the bright side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 478-AUTO or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 478-AUTO.
kingdom of our people. G-U-A-M, island in the sun. From Jigo to Molessi, this land is all that we know. I said this land is all that we know. Come with me to my roots in a little tin shack on the ranch with my tata and the sweat up on my back.
Welcome back to the Bright Side right here on Wave 105. My name is Paulie Subas, 671-922-1051. We're not on Facebook today. We're on YouTube, right? So you can check us out on Wave 105.1 FM Guam if you're in the car, tuned in to us on 105.1 FM, or even on our website still, thewave105.com. And you're like, wow, I tried to find you on Facebook. You're not there. So if you're on the road now listening to us in your car, you get home and you still want to tune in, right? Or you're like, where's Patty? Then in the morning, you can just log on to the YouTube app and go to Wave 105.1 FM Guam. We're still working out a few kinks here, but things are actually moving pretty quick. So I like being here, to be honest with you. I like
it too.
Yeah.
And I forgot that we can even play the song longer.
Yeah, we sure can. So get ready, because I'm gonna mix things up for sure now. At this point, longer bumper songs, more. None of this elevator trash music anymore. That every now and then we play, but yeah, we'll be switching it up real soon. Bill 321 is a bill that they have been talking about all morning, and then even in the afternoon. They might have moved on already by this. They might have moved on, but I'm way behind it at this point. So I had to stop watching at 4 to get ready for this show. But basically, Bill 321-37 seeks to allocate $7 million to GDOE to fund the rebuilding of Simon Sanchez High School and cover the cost of leasing a temporary campus during construction. The expenses include hiring a construction manager, purchasing equipment, supplies, and maintaining utilities. The bill will take effect immediately after it passes. And so there's a couple of things. I mean, even without this bill, they've already hired a construction manager, right, for the construction of Simon Sanchez. The governor made that announcement last week. Lester Carlson was even mentioning this morning that you probably don't even need this $7 million, at least not all of it, from the general fund, because there's money in a Typhoon Mawar account. So Lester Carlson was mentioning, he is the director of the Bureau of Budget and Management Research. He was saying that there's going to be a meeting between GDOE and FEMA later this week. He believes that it looks good that FEMA would approve they would agree to pay the 90-10 cost share of a $25 million project. FEMA would pay 90%, and then Guam, the government of Guam, would pay 10%, right? Again, he said there are available funds through the Typhoon Mawar account that could cover the local share. So he said rebuilding the school on its current site doesn't have much traction. He said the second proposal, which involved leasing adjacent Guam Housing Corporation property and then setting up a temporary classroom, also encountered significant issues related to foundation work and sewer hookups, leading to minimal progress. And so the third option seems to be where they're headed to. The third option is that Tumon Bay Mall. That's the vacant mall that's right across Crown. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. So it looks like they're leaning towards that. Carlson said that this proposed temporary facility involves transforming the 90,446 square foot space into 83 offices and classrooms, including 2 cafeterias, a nurse's station, a small gym, and adequate administrative offices. He emphasized that the facility would meet ADA compliance standards and offer controlled entry and exit points. The cost breakdown for the build out, and occupancy is estimated at $12 million, with rent calculated at $136,000 per month, amounting to about $1.6 million a year, totaling nearly $4.9 million over 3 years. In the financial report, Carlson clarified that the most recent CRER indicates a projected general fund balance of $37.9 million, but after accounting for 2 recent legislative measures totaling over $7 million, the net is about $30.4 million. He did say that the $2.5 million local match for FEMA could come from the remaining balance, adding that the funds are FEMA eligible, again under the Typhoon Mawar expenditure report. So Carlson mentioned that the legislature received a Typhoon Mawar expenditure report monthly showing $33 million available as of August 31st for the local match. And he said if FEMA approves the temporary facility, the 2.5 again local match can certainly be taken from the available balance. Let's see here. Harold wants to make a comment. Yeah. Half a day, Harold.
Hey, Paulie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You know, I'm listening to what you just said about Lester Carlson saying that they're having a meeting with FEMA and
GDOE and FEMA. Well,
right, right, and possibly there might be a 90 to 10 cost, right?
FEMA would pay 90%, and the government of Guam would pay 10. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a savings of $22,500,000 that the government of Guam will save, and so if we can wait just a little bit for that to be approved, then we can take that money and use that money to refurbish and that mall area across the Topping Beach, you know.
Did you finish watching the legislative hearing today? Did you watch it all the way to the end?
Unfortunately, I didn't because I had to take off to an appointment.
No worries.
But I'm just touching on just that little part there that I'm listening to you talk about.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to finish it or finish watching and see where they go with this. There were a couple amendments, but they failed. And there was an amendment that would also allow GDOE another option, a fourth option, would basically allow them to refurbish one of the schools that they already have in their inventory for a temporary campus for Simon Sanchez. But that amendment failed too. So again, I'm about 45 minutes behind. So
you know what? Aren't we just sick and tired of the politics going on in the legislature? I wish the election was tomorrow so we could just vote some of these cronies out. I'm serious.
Yeah. What is it that you're tired of? What exactly?
Tony, you know, I was in politics not too long ago, and I see what goes on in there, and it behooves the people of Guam to vote these people out who keep talking about education, public safety, and healthcare. You know, let's just get them out. When you go vote, just don't vote for them anymore. It's really heartbreaking that the same people continue to sit in the legislature, and it's all because they have a popular name, you know, or they get big corporate donors to back their campaign. You know. So, you know, I'm asking the people of Guam while I have a little bit of time on the air with you, is to just don't vote for these people anymore. The incumbents that are in there, I tell you, I don't know why they decide to run for. for re-election. I really don't.
Are you not happy with the whole 15, the whole legislature, or I don't know if you want to share exactly who you're talking about. It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, I will. I think we need to get all the Republicans out except for maybe one, which is we need to keep
Tom Fisher?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a true fighter for the people of Guam. I don't care what anyone else says. If you follow what he has been doing in the legislature, he stands up for integrity and accountability. In the Democrat side, I will only keep maybe two of them, and I will put my support behind Roy Kanata and the Speaker. Everyone else there is just a bunch of, I don't know what the word to say it. I don't want to say.
I appreciate you not saying a word that is going to get me in trouble.
Right.
But even more so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
But even more so, I appreciate you speaking your mind. Absolutely. I'm glad that you are.
You know, let me tell you, I worked in the late Senator A.G. Santos and Senator Will Castro, their chief of staff. And even when I was in there, I saw all the skumbalotsi meaning bad things that are going on, you know? It's just, yeah. So I have an insight of what goes on in there. So to the people of Guam, if you're really, truly sick and tired of the same political rhetoric, vote them out. Don't vote for them. And it reminded to the people of Guam that you don't have to vote 15. You don't. Pick your 3 or 4 best candidates and vote for them. You know, that's what you should do.
Are you following along the congressional race?
You know, I'm torn with the congressional race. Ginger Cruz is running just one of the best campaigns I've ever seen. And I wish. I think that race is going to be a no-brainer. I really like the work that Jim Moylan has been doing, despite what people are saying. But the social media campaign that Ginger Cruz is running is one of the best I've seen in all of campaigning. It has. So I guess that's my observation.
Wow, I really appreciate your honest observation, because I could definitely tell that you're just being completely honest, right, on your perspective and your convictions.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm torn on who I'm going to vote for, but I'm pretty sure when I walk into that ballot room, I'm going to get a sign from our Lord above. So, thank you for your Paulie. Thank you for your time, and I hope this discussion can continue. And once again, vote all those cronies out of the legislature. All
right, absolutely. Thank you, Harold. I appreciate the phone call. Okay, I think he's gone, right? Take care. Okay, that was interesting. Interesting perspectives, right? And I respect it. 671-922-1051. If there's anybody else out there, or you're listening and you totally disagree, or maybe you absolutely agree, now's a good time to call as well. And so I remember, I left off. The reason why I'm trying to hold back, because I'm talking all of this, and yet maybe there's something after the whole after they voted down the bill, and all of this is for naught. But I can only talk about what I've already heard, right? Based on the session floor today on Bill 321. And so even Speaker brought it out, and I also was able to kind come up with a time frame. Speaker brings up a time frame of when the new Simon Sanchez High School is going to get built, right? And so she starts to share that it looks like it's going to take 8 months to review the A&E, the architectural and engineering design, and then discussions on financing, because they want to finance the whole project. That'll probably take, 10, maybe a year, give or take a year. And then about 2 years for construction. So we're looking at about 3 years. If all things turn out the way we hope it will. Like best case scenario, 3 years. So I'm looking at the freshmen today. If you stick with this timeline and everything works out, the Simon Sanchez High School freshmen could see themselves going into the new Simon Sanchez their senior year, which I really hope so. But what do you do in the time in between? You do need to find a temporary facility. You absolutely do need to find a You cannot have Southern High and JFK double sessioning for the next 3 years. So whether it's, because I understand that, that there's talk of maybe we could use some of this money that would have went to the temporary facility. And since, the school isn't going to be built in the next 3 years, we can use it for GMH, or we can use it for another project with GDOE. But if the Typhoon Mawar funding is available, then we absolutely should be really prioritizing the temporary building. And I'm also starting to lean towards the Tumon Bay Mall when you start to hear, the challenges that they're facing with the temporary facility next to the Guam Housing Corporation, because, it sounded like a really good idea in January of 2024. It sounded like a really good idea in the summer of 2024. But here we are, one day from October, and we don't have it. And who knows how long it's going to take to get these temporary shelters to Guam. I don't agree with the refurbishment of the school. The reason why I don't agree with refurbishing a school, because also Senator Sabina Perez brought up Chief Brody's vacant right now. I asked Superintendent Eric Swanson, hey, what about Chief Brody? Like 3 months ago. Right? No, not 3 months ago. Right before school was going to start. August. So that was just a month and a half ago. What about using Chief Brody for Simon Sanchez? He goes, Chief Brody's for little people. They're for kids. So you're going to have to do a whole lot of refurbishment. You're going to have to retrofit. And also, do you even have enough classrooms over at Chief Brody that would fit all of Simon Sanchez? And so if Simon Sanchez High School isn't going to get built in the next 3 years, then you absolutely have to find them a temporary facility to be in for 3 years. I just don't agree with Simon Sanchez double sessioning with JFK for that long. Can you redistrict students all throughout the island to have one of these schools become the temporary facility for Simon Sanchez. That's going to take even more discussion. That's going to take a lot of discussion. We haven't even talked about, GDOE is supposed to have a conversation with all the stakeholders about possibly decommissioning schools. And when they first had that conversation and they started down in the southern villages over at, I want to say, Southern High, it didn't go well. It really didn't. And it went so bad, terribly bad. I think by the time they went to the central village, the board, the education board, shut it down and said, nope, stop having these conversations, hold up, let's see your plan, and there will be no decommissioning of schools until January 2025. We need to see your plan. And that kind of held things up. And I would bet $1. I would bet $1 that the GDOE leadership might not even had those conversations again, because they're dealing with so much right now. They are dealing with a lot. We still have 2 schools that haven't passed its sanitation inspection. Hold on, let me just double check. Because Southern High, we're supposed to find out if Southern High passed its sanitation inspection. I'm waiting for it to update. Nope, nothing. So, no updates on Southern High passing its sanitation inspection. So, I didn't want to put Che on the spot. So I didn't ask her on the air because she's a Southern High senior and she's online. But I asked her off the air, and so she's like, man, I really hope so. I really hope we're going to, get back in school. I really don't want to have to do this for another week. And which brings to mind, the student population that GDOE has. And Superintendent Eric Swanson said it this morning. He said the overall population, the mindset of the overall student population is they are upset with their schools closing because of the threats. They want to go to school. The overall mindset is they're not happy with the disruption. They wanted to go to school on Friday. There was football, like Chief Stephen Ignacio said. There was a football game that got canceled. Lives were disrupted. And they just want to have a normal school day. Like, now it's at the point where we're not even asking for a normal school year.
Yeah.
It's at the point where, can we have one normal school day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just so much pressure too because of how they got pushed back because of the inspection, and now this is happening.
Yeah.
They just want to go to school.
Yeah. And that is the mindset of the majority of the school population. The majority of the school population wants to go to school. They want to learn. They want to be with their friends. They want to have that social.
Yeah, it's already almost October.
Yeah, they want to be part of that. The whole concept of traditional school. So I don't even know if because of everything that's piling on, another thing and another thing and another thing, I don't even know if they've even had the time to have the conversation on decommissioning schools. I don't know if they've had the time where they can think about redistricting. So I think right in front of them is right in front of them, because even Lester Carlson said, "Man, I'm also confused." Because Speaker was like, "I'm a little confused about what's going on here with the money that you've found in the Malwar report," and then he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm also confused because I thought I was coming here to give you good news, to show you that we have this money for the Tumon Bay Mall, and we can get out of this predicament, and this is the way forward." And so I understand that the procurement process and all of that, I understand that it might not be, I think it's very fair, the questions that the senators asked when they were wanting to verify, where's our money going and who's it going into? Who stands to benefit? That's a very fair question. I agree. But, and if there is, because then we heard there's rumors that there might be another property. Yeah, sure. But my worry too is then all of a sudden when you go through the procurement process and let's get another bid, then there's a bid that a company jumps in and gets upset that they didn't win the bid. Then then also the temporary facility initiative gets put on hold because of a business that called foul and is claiming that they should not have lost the bid. And so that just holds it up even more too. So not only do we have a hold up on the main school campus being built, but we would end up having a hold up on the temporary. And so what is the goal? The goal is end double session. Out of these three options, how is it? Which one's going to get Sanchez out of double session and JFK? Which one of these three? If it's Tumon Bay, go for that. But you're adding a fourth option? You're adding a fifth option? I don't know. 5:37. We'll take the break. We've got a Real Deal Traffic Report and national news right here on Wave 105.
The Bright Side is brought to you by GTA. We start with you and Vitali's Italian Restaurant.
Should there be a credit card class in high school?
Parents surveyed said they're responsible for teaching their kids to handle their finances. But 53% of college-age students said they are not good money managers. Mary Droush, the head of consumer products at Bank of America.
Reality is there's so much content out there, it's overwhelming.
Financial tools are getting better. Bank of America has created one example, a family banking account giving parents oversight of their child's spending.
So that as they're learning how to manage their money, they can do it in a responsible way.
Brad Gibson for CBS News.
A day after launching from the Kennedy Space Center, a SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft caught up with the International Space Station and moved in for docking, bringing a NASA astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut to the outpost to join two Starliner astronauts for a 5-month tour of duty. It comes amid word from SpaceX that it's suspending Falcon 9 launches while engineers work to figure out what caused the crew's Falcon 9 upper stage to misfire on Saturday. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair? What do you mean? Does it not look good? It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's Hair Volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give Hair Volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair Hair Volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
It's back to saving September at GTA. Love your phone? Bring it to GTA and get a $400 account credit. That'll get you 6 months free. Looking to upgrade? Get a $400 account credit with the new unlimited wireless plan and get a new iPhone 15 for less than $14 a month. Plus, we'll also waive the $25 activation fee and give you a $50 port-in credit for switching to GTA. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net or one of our stores today. GTA. We start with you.
The charm and history of Italian food is expressed at Vitali's Italian Restaurant with signature dishes, the tour of Italy, spaghetti carbonara, linguine clam, and delightful pizza with red and white wine to pair nicely with your appetizer of choice. So dine in and enjoy the taste of Italy at Vitali's Italian Restaurant. Open Monday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 a.m., Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Vitali's Italian Restaurant located in the heart of Tumon.
You work all day. Nights are for relaxing. Tune in Monday through Thursday for Light Nights here on Wave 105 FM. Designed to help you chill and forget about the stresses of your day. The wave doesn't stop, but it sure can slow down. It's Light Nights, Monday through Thursday nights till midnight only here on the Sound of Guam. Wave 105 FM.
Eat fresh in just a few clicks. Order online at SubwayPacific.com for pickup at your convenience or delivery right to your doorstep. Online ordering at SubwayPacific.com is powered by Good To Go. We deliver. At Subway, you gotta refresh to be fresh.
On Guam, family is everything. But for many, we're getting sandwiched between caring for our aging parents and for our kids and grandkids. It's a blessing, but for some working families, it's challenging. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad because caring for family shouldn't be impossible. A key priority for me will be working to expand federal support for childcare, fully fund universal pre-K, and increase access to elder care insurance and assisted living. It's great for the economy, but it's also great for families. Paid for by Ginger Cruz for Congress.
Get whatever you want on your next vehicle purchase at Guam Auto Spot. Want zero down on your vehicle? Want low monthly interest rates? Want instant pre-approval? Whatever you want. Visit our website, GuamAutospot.com, and choose whatever you want from over 200 vehicles in our inventory, like this 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, now starting at $16,995. These are whatever you want prices. Call 478 Auto and schedule a test drive today.
Now's that time for your last real deal traffic report here on the bright side. Heavy traffic on Route 4 in Sinohanya if you're coming from Hagåtña, heading to the intersection and near the mobile gas station. Heavy traffic on Route 8 in Mighty if you're passing the Coast 360 Bank, heading up to the intersection and near the mobile gas station. Heavy traffic on Route 8 in Barragata if you're passing the Jay's Flower Shop, heading to the Tri intersection near the fire station. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in Tamuning northbound if you're coming from the intersection near the ITC building, heading to the intersection near Donkey. Heavy traffic on Route 1 in Upper Tumon if you're passing the St. John School, heading to the intersection and near the Dededo Micronesia Mall. And now for some traffic advisory for the week from Monday, September 30th to Friday, October 4th between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Motorists are advised that the contractor will continue shoulder work along Route 14, Chalon San Antonio into Muning. During this time, expect minimal lane shifts and intermittent lane closures. And that is your last real deal traffic report here on the bright side, brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive today at Guam Auto Spot by calling 478 Auto or view their inventory on their website at guamautospot.com. Guam Auto Spot, 478 Auto.
All right, welcome back to the bright side right here on Wave 105. I fast forwarded all the way to the end, and so basically they suspended discussion on Bill 321 until GDOE meets with FEMA. And so that meeting is supposed to happen on Thursday. And I think that was a good idea, because, again, this bill here says $7 million. But to be honest with you, let me just double check. Bill 321. If what Lester Carlson, director of BBMR, is saying, you might need some of that money, but not even the whole 7 million of it, because there is a Typhoon Mawar funding source that the legislature set aside after Mawar. So we don't even know how much money we're going to need. It's 90-10 if FEMA agrees to pay for the temporary facility for Simon Sanchez, right? And, I'm on resolutions. I'm supposed to be on bills. And if they agree to do so, then that's great. I do worry that because that meeting has been postponed a number of times, I do worry that meeting won't happen on that day. But even so, I think I agree that we do need a way. Yes, $7 million to the Guam Department of Education from the unappropriated and unencumbered excess fiscal year 2024 general fund revenues to cover the costs associated with the rebuilding of Simon Sanchez and the leasing of a temporary campus. And so how do we need the $7 million? And we might not even need it at all if we can pull from a whole nother funding source. How much of that do we need? We won't necessarily know until FEMA and GDOE meet and agree on terms. Will they even agree to pay for 90% of the temporary campus? So again, that meeting is scheduled for Thursday, but to be honest with you, I'm not even going to hold my breath because that meeting has been postponed a number of times too. Hopefully, if not Thursday, hopefully this week or next week, late this week or next week. I did get a release from, let me see here, from Guam Cancer Care. John called last week and wanted to remind the community about a Thursday public hearing, right? Thursday, October 3rd at 9 a.m. He called last Friday. And so Guam Cancer Care now, with the press release, announcing prospective shutdown of direct support services programs to cancer patients due to insufficient funds allocated to the Guam Cancer Trust Fund. And so the release further says, Guam Cancer Care announced today, September 30, the prospective shutdown of all cancer direct support cancer programs effective November 1st. These direct services include but are not limited to patient navigation, direct financial assistance awards, issuance of patient supplies, and transportation of cancer patients to and from their chemotherapy and radiation therapy appointments. Guam Cancer Care, currently operating under a grant issued by the Guam Cancer Trust Fund, which is set to expire on October 31st. Guam Cancer Care submitted its annual grant application to cover its direct support programs for fiscal year 2025. However, the trust fund was underfunded by the legislature by $2 million under the 2025 Budget Act. And it is highly likely that there is insufficient funding allocated to the GCTF to fund Guam Cancer Care. Since inception, Guam Cancer Care has provided support services to over 4,000 Guam cancer patients over the past 13 years. They brought in over $31 million in additional resources to Guam cancer patients, such as free chemotherapy drugs through its pharmaceutical assistance program, paid out over $2.1 million in direct financial assistance grant payments directly to cancer providers on behalf of the cancer patients for survivor services rendered, and issued over $600,000 in patient supplies ranging from nutritional supplements, adult diapers, wipes, wheelchairs, and rollators. It says here from Terry Quabo, Executive Director for Guam Cancer Care. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your last name wrong. He says, it would be extremely disheartening if cancer patients in Guam have to revert back in time to the days of 2010, where cancer patients had to fend for themselves to access much-needed cancer care with no support or direct services to battle this deadly disease. With the creation of the Guam Cancer Trust Fund in 2010, access to much-needed cancer care has dramatically improved over the past many years. The GCTF funds critical nonprofit organizations to include, but not limited to, Guam Cancer Care, Edward M. Calvo Cancer Foundation, American Cancer Society, Todu Guam Foundation, and Azuda Foundation, all of which provide unique and distinct direct support services and programs benefiting the thousands of Guam residents afflicted by cancer. And so basically, they are asking that you attend Bill 355, the public hearing, which was introduced by Senator Joe San Augustine, of which includes a provision that provides $2 million to the Guam Cancer Trust Fund. The 37th Guam Legislature will be holding a public hearing on Bill 355 Thursday, October 3rd at 9 a.m. Guam Cancer Care encourages all members of the cancer community or community at large who support the adequate funding of the Guam Cancer Trust Fund to attend the public hearing on Bill 355. And then Quabo said, we trust that a resolution to this funding issue for the Guam Cancer Trust Fund can be resolved to ensure the continuity of key cancer direct support programs provided by Guam Cancer Care and the other nonprofits providing support to our fellow Guam residents afflicted by cancer care. If you'd like more information on Guam Cancer Care, you can always call them up at 671-969-2223. You can also visit them at guamcancercare.org. JT is on the line. Off a day, JT. Is my Sedzin still in the freezer? JT. Hello, Hoffa.
Hello?
Hoffa day. JT.
Hoffa?
Hey. Is my Sedzin still in the fridge, in the freezer?
No, man.
It's okay. Eat it. I can't. I'm going down to EPAN. I'm going down to EPAN Saturday, and then that's when I'm going to go down and check out the Godal, the statue, yeah?
Oh, the statue, yeah, still there.
I'm going to go check it out. Heck yeah, it better still be there. They just put it up, right?
Yeah, but they're not completely finished, not yet. They got the borders, and I don't know what they're going to do. You know, the tourists and the locals are taking pictures also.
Nice.
That thing is about more than 9 feet tall.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
right next to it is Hinarahan Veteran Memorial.
I didn't know that.
You look for the Army.
Okay.
Army section, the Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that there's a memorial right there.
Yeah. Just take the Army. My name is there.
Oh, yeah? Nice, yeah. I will. Is that a new memorial as well? A monument? Is that a new monument as well?
That's a new one.
Oh, okay.
But
that's
nice. It's nice. It's lofty shape. and they have separate Lati stone, right?
Mm.
The Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard,
Nice.
and the Army.
I wonder if we should call the mayor because I wonder if they're gonna move the Liberation Memorial to that side of the village, because you know where they've been doing it, right? They've been doing it across Bear Rock.
Yeah, but I think on Veteran Memorial Day, I don't know when is that.
November 11th.
Remember that ceremony we had in Nepal, right?
November 11th, yeah.
Yeah, the plane is flying overhead. You hear it?
No, I don't.
I think the ceremony will be, just like the Manamco, the World War II Manamco is down by the Ricardo side.
Uh-huh.
Now this one is for the veterans. The more likely the veteran memorial ceremony will be at that place.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Wow, there's more and more things happening in Inalahan. A lot of things to do there, huh?
Yeah, actually, Gordo, see that broken canoe? The first one that was built?
Yes.
That was donated by the Air Force.
I didn't know that.
Anderson Air Force Base, yeah.
They built it?
I guess so,
they
but it was,
constructed it? Wow.
I remember the Air Force, Anderson Air Force Base, donated that statue.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Is the Sanahi still up? Is he still wearing his Sanahi?
I think so.
Nice.
I think still wearing it. It's a big Sinai.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Don't let Noah take it.
The thing is, a story about that the statue was a 7 Days Adventist church right next to it.
Right behind it, yes.
Yeah, that's 7 days. The first 7 Days Adventist here on Guam.
Right.
That was built right after the war, or even before the war.
I didn't even know that until maybe 2 years ago from the Guam Preservation Office who announced it. Remember when they were talking about who's going to be in control of it? Is it going to be the Preservation Office or the Mayor's office, right? I didn't know. I thought that was I thought that was an old Catholic church, but it wasn't.
It is. That's why Iran is the only prehistoric village. It's under the military, under the federal government. That's why we can't. People that are saying that they want to build a house, but they have to get approval from the federal government.
Sure. Yeah. There are a number of houses there, right, in Old Inalahan.
Yeah, they want to rebuild the house, but they have to go through the federal clearance.
Mm.
That's why when the sign as you enter, it says prehistoric village.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
and there's
prehistoric. That means a long time ago, even before the World War II.
Yeah, and there's signs at each of these houses, right? Each of these buildings of what exactly they were or during their time. Yeah, I mean, I feel for the owners, I really do, and so me being an outsider, not from Inalahan, I don't consider my opinion as important as the opinion of your village, of the people there. What do you guys think? What is the consensus that the property owners should be allowed to rebuild their homes?
No, the first commissioner of Iran, the first commissioner island-wide is in Iran. And at that time, they called them Magasi Sengsung.
Okay, the leader of the village. Is that like leader of the village, right? Magus,
Right,
he
yeah.
sang song? Nice, man. I'm learning.
I'm 80 years old. And I know practically even before the war.
Yeah.
And during the war, I know where we hide during the war.
You showed me.
You have to escape the Japanese.
Yeah.
I showed you the place. The
Yeah, you
Tongu,
did.
when
You did
we were
show
down
me.
here at the ranch.
You did show me, yeah. I'll never forget it, senor. Every time I talk to you, I feel blessed talking to you. But I gotta go now at this time, and so we'll do it again tomorrow. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I got to feed this animal down
Okay,
here.
senor. All right, to JT, adios.
Sir.
Esta adios. 5:59. Well, it's 6 o'clock. I thought we were gonna get off early. I guess right on time. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Issa. Appreciate you. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to the Bright Side right here on Wave 105. Don't forget, we're gonna be on YouTube again tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a lot better than today as well. I mean, Pat, don't forget, tune in to Patty's show, Mornings with Patty from 6 to 10 on Wave 105. We're still on 105.1 FM, the wave105.com, and now the YouTube channel. Let me just double check because I haven't even memorized it yet. Wave 105.1 FM Guam. That's where you'll be able to find us. If that's too hard to remember, because I couldn't even remember it, just go to our Facebook, and the link is right there on the Wave 105.1 FM's Facebook account. Yeah? Okay. We'll do it all again tomorrow, Tuesday. So we've got Cop Talk right after Mornings with Patty, Maximum Millennium Music, all the way until Issa and I get back in here to do the Bright Side again. The GTA is going to be in tomorrow at 4. They're going to be sharing with us the new iPhone 16, baby. So we'll get all the insights on that with GTA tomorrow when we start the show. All right, we are KGUM FM in Hagåtña, Guam. Adios.